Dear students, under the series of lectures on Laplace transform, first we will learn the definition of Laplace transform. So what is Laplace transform? The Laplace transform of a function is defined as L of f of t is equal to capital F of s, which is equal to integral 0 to infinity e to the power negative st f of t dt. So this integral is known as Laplace transform of the function f of t, and it is denoted by capital F of s. So capital F of s is called the Laplace transform of the function f of t, and it is denoted by capital L of f of t. So this is the representation for Laplace transform, and it is when the function f of t is transformed, it is transformed into a new function capital F of s, which is given by the integral 0 to infinity e to the power negative st f of t dt. So what is this f of t? F of t is a function of the variable t, which is defined for all positive values of t. So t is the variable and f of t is a function of the variable t, and this t is defined, the function is defined for all possible positive values of t. And what is this s? We have e to the power negative st here. We know that t is a variable, and what is s? S is a real constant. So s is a real constant. It is not an imaginary constant, it is a real constant. And capital L, which is known as Laplace transform operator. So this capital L is the operator that transforms the function f of t into capital F of s, and capital L is known as Laplace transform operator. So this is the definition of Laplace transform. Next we shall learn the sufficient conditions for the existence of Laplace transform. There are three sufficient conditions for the existence of Laplace transform. They are, so here we have the three sufficient conditions. The first condition is f of t, that is the function f of t, is continuous or piecewise continuous in the closed interval a comma b, where a is greater than 0. So now what is this piecewise continuous? A function f of t is said to be piecewise continuous in a closed interval a comma b if it is defined on that interval and is such that the interval can be broken up into infinite number of subintervals in each of which this f of t will be continuous. So when this closed interval is broken up into subintervals, in those subintervals also the function f of t will be continuous. In that case, f of t is said to be piecewise continuous. So this is the first sufficient condition for the existence of Laplace transform. The second sufficient condition is it is of exponential order. What is this exponential order? A function f of t is said to be of exponential order. So if we take the limit s tending to infinity in e power negative s f of t, it will be equal to 0. Or if for some s naught, if we consider some s naught, the product e to the power negative s naught t and modulus of f of t will be bounded. So you just remember, if the limit is taken to infinity for s in e power negative s f of t, it will be equal to 0, in which case we say that the function f of t is of exponential order. And this is one of the sufficient condition for the existence of Laplace transform. And the last condition for the existence of Laplace transform is t to the power n f of t is bounded near the value t equal to 0 for some number n greater which is greater than 1. So if we consider t to the power n f of t, it will be bounded. So we know that bounded means when we take the mod value, so modulus of t to the power f of t, it will be bounded by some value, maybe capital M. So this value will be bounded near t equal to 0. So these are the three sufficient conditions for the existence of Laplace transform. So in this video lecture, we have learned the definition of Laplace transform and the sufficient condition for the existence of the Laplace transform. In our next video, we will learn the properties of Laplace transform. Thank you.